You know, it really is nice today on the 4th of July, hanging out around a campfire out in the middle of nowhere. Don't you agree, Nina?
I wholeheartedly agree.
You know, while we are here, enjoying a nice brew around the campfire, here in the woods, what if I told you a scary story? You want to hear a scary story?
What else are you supposed to do when you are sitting around a campfire on a warm summer's eve?
I mean, I suppose talk about beer, like this Bayfront Blonde from Erie Brewing Company, a blonde-style ale.
It's pretty good.
We could talk about that.
It's refreshing.
It's nice to have, as previously stated, a nice little beer when you're out around the campfire in this warm summer eve.
Yes, that is what I said.
However,
okay.
it is dark and we're in the woods, and that is definitely the time for a scary story.
Yeah, I'm open to scary stories. Let's do it. I will warn you though, a scary story connoisseur.
A connoisseur of scary stories, huh?
My standards are pretty fucking high.
Oh, okay. Well, little miss, I'm a big, bad, scary story bitch. Fuck you. We're gonna tell the scary story the way I want to tell the scary story.
And I will listen the way I want to listen.
Oh, that sounds concerning for me, but here we go. So once, thousands of years ago,
Strong start.
there were two groups, vampires and the lichens.
Clarify for me what are lichens?
It's a werewolf, Nina. Everyone knows what a lichen is.
Oh yeah. It's
I'm
not,
sorry.
You're not just trying to sound clever about the fact that they're just werewolves.
No, not at all. They're legally distinct because
But why do the vampires get to be vampires?
everyone knows what a vampire is, Nina. There's no need to explain.
But then why can't we use the werewolf word?
Oh, I'm sorry that you want to have werewolves. Just a big ooh, ah, woo, I transform into a wolf.
And
no.
Okay.
Because... Anyway. So thousands of years ago, there was a war between the vampires and the lichens. Mm-hmm. Which finally was ended when the lichen Lucian was killed in battle.
Ooh, okay.
It was a bitter battle, hard fought and all that, you know. Mm-hmm. But the lichen have continued
Oh my god.
to hold out to this very day. This very day, Nina.
Oh, terrifying. And
no matter how hard I'm a vampire in this story, okay? I'm telling from the point of the view of a vampire.
All right. It's kind of hard sell, but I'm staying with you on it.
Okay, hold with me, okay? No matter how hard we try to exterminate them and put them down like the dogs they are, because they're werewolves. They're werewolves.
Right,
okay?
right. Yes,
the lichen.
The lichen.
Okay, but don't call them werewolves. Keep up, okay?
I'm keeping. Do I look like I'm not keeping? I'm keeping. It's
it
perhaps
like
it is the firelight casting
you're paying
shadows
too much
on my
attention
face,
to the campfire and not enough attention to me, the storyteller.
I have ADHD. It is a blessing and a curse. Fire's really cool. Leave me alone. Continue.
So, that's why I, a member of the Death Brigade, Death Squad, Death Hunters, Death Dealers.
Oh,
I am a member of the Death Dealers, and I handle werewolf lichen. And that's what don't laugh. This is a scary story.
I'm terrified.
Because that's what I'm doing tonight.
That's what
I'm doing tonight, Nina. Mm-hmm. And we're out. And I see some lichen on the street with me and my creep shot cameraman friend. He's there too.
Okay.
And we're going to exterminate the shit out of these lichen. So we follow them sneakily into the New York City subway.
Okay, so this was taking place in New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, where did you think it was? Transylvania? Get with the times, Nina.
Okay.
Vampires live in America now.
All right, got it.
However, when we went down into the subway, the lichens spotted us and called out, "Bloods!" That's
no.
werewolf voice.
Okay, that's what werewolves sound like.
No, it's what lichens sound like. Get with the times, Nina.
Oh my
For the love of God.
Sorry. Okay, please keep going.
I can't believe you keep calling them that. Anyway, during this battle, I realized the lichen probably weren't just walking around.
Why not?
I think they were hunting a human.
What made you think that?
Well, while I was sitting brooding over my computer and zoom and enhancing photos, I saw this hunky man.
Ooh, hunky.
And I knew that hunky man had to be the cause. In the story, by the way, I'm a sexy vampire lady with like skin tight
Ooh,
leather and
okay.
a trench coat.
I'm imagining Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah. Very, very close.
Okay, good.
If vampires were in the Matrix and Neo was Kate Beckinsale.
This is what you look like.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I'm on board.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, when you're brooding over this computer, you set the scene for me. Are you in a like modern apartment or are you in like
I'm kind of in like a shitty dungeon basement, but it's all like poured cement.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm following. All
It's
right.
supposed to be a gothic basement though, so try and imagine that too.
That's a lot to ask, but I am on board. Keep going. Tell me about this hunky man.
Well, this hunky man was walking around, and since I saw him try to help a human who was shot, I'm pretty sure that means the werewolf, the lichen, were after him.
Right, yeah, of course.
So, you know, now you may remember earlier in the story, I told you that Lucian was killed.
Yes, I remember that.
Well, he was killed by my boss, Craven.
Oh, that's a
And
terrible
I'm
name.
a little hesitant to trust Craven because you know what? He's the only one who saw Lucian die. And I'm a little suspicious.
I can't blame you. That sounds
Maybe he
suspicious as
lied.
shit.
So I decide I'm going to take matters into my own hands. All right?
Okay.
And I'm going to wake up an old-ass hibernating vampire.
Oh,
Okay, so here's some...
Wait, I'm a little confused, so yeah. fill me in.
okay, so we have 3 vampire elders, right?
Right, okay.
Victor, Marcus, and the other one.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember her name. But
oh,
anyway.
it was a girl, okay.
Yeah. You know, one vampire rules for a few hundred years, and then they go back into the hibernation tank, and then, you know, the cycle continues.
Okay, yeah.
I decided to wake up Victor like 100 years or so, a little early, because he's my buddy, and I need him to justify my actions.
Sounds reasonable.
Okay?
All right, I'm on your side.
But did I mention, by the way, that I found Michael already? Michael is the name of the human the hunky boy.
Oh, the hunky boy.
Yeah.
Michael. Okay.
Yeah. He's kind of an asshole, but he's also a doctor.
Oh,
But-
a Dr. Michael.
Yeah.
Dr. Michael Morbius.
No. I can understand why you might be confused into thinking that my vampire story would include a Dr. Michael Morbius, it's Morbin time moment. But this is Dr. Michael Corvius. I'm sorry, Corvin. My mistake. Michael Corvin. Did I mention that my dead-ass vampire that I woke up was a part of the Corvin bloodline, by the way?
Oh, wow. It's all
So-
coming together. Okay.
Way back in the day. Way back. You know, thousands and thousands of years ago.
Right. So even more thousands of years ago than the last time you said
Yes.
thousands. Okay.
Jebediah Corvin was made immortal or something. And then
Right.
he had at least 2 kids. One bitten by a bat and one by a dog, you know. And
Yeah, that's usually how
where
it
the
happens.
vampires and lichen came from.
It sounds like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
No. It's incredibly different. It's nothing like that at all.
Okay, cool.
I feel like you're not taking my scary story very seriously.
No, I'm terrified. This is nervous laughter. I promise.
Okay. I'm glad this is nervous laughter.
I'm so nervous. In fact, I cannot. I'm on the edge of my seat to hear what happens next.
Well, you're never going to believe it. But it turns out Lucian was alive the whole time, and
No.
Craven lied. He just cut off some skin from his arm to say, yeah, I definitely killed that guy.
That sounds like a really weak way to prove someone's dead.
He had a really, like, notable tattoo. It was a big, like, V on his arm. He used to be part of our feeding cattle. We used to eat him. Because we're vampires, remember?
Yeah, that tracks for vampires. Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Okay.
That's pretty creepy stuff to cut arm off someone's skin. So yeah, keep going.
Well, you know.
Skin off someone's arm. Sorry.
It's not that. I mean, we do regenerate because we're vampires and lichen, you know. Like the regeneration thing, you can't ignore that.
Right. So that makes sense. Okay.
Did I mention the slutty goths that live in my gothic mansion of vampires?
You mentioned the mansion, but not the slutty goths.
Oh,
you
yeah,
mentioned
it's-
hunky boy.
it-
Wait, you
it's-
haven't talked much about how this Lucian guy looks. Is this Lucian guy pretty hunky too?
So have you ever seen like the Twilight movies?
I have, yeah.
So who's that one guy? He's like in charge of the vampire senate or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, I am the senate, but the vampire version.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh god, it starts with an A.
Amogus.
Amogus the vampire.
Fucking hell, there's too many people in Twilight. Why is Martin Sheen on the 4th,
Michael Sheen.
5th? Aro.
Aro. Yeah, Aro from Twilight. I'm familiar.
Yeah. Aro from Twilight. So imagine Aro from Twilight, exactly as he is in Twilight.
Okay, exactly as he is in Twilight.
Okay, exactly as he is in
I'm
Twilight.
on board.
Now take away his fancy clothes and give him like a leather jacket that is very similar to my skin tight leather, but it's not black, it's brown, and it's a bomber jacket with a fur collar.
That's hot.
It's actually more of a trench coat with a fur collar.
All right. And is he clean
Actually,
shaven like Aro?
all the Lycan have a fur collar leather jacket.
That
actually,
tracks.
so
That
you
makes
should
sense because
just
they're Lycans.
retroactively remember that.
Okay, I am retroactively. I've put every Lycan you've mentioned so far in one of those fur collared coats.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. So, and also, this guy, is he like Aro in that he's like clean shaven?
Oh no, he has a really like shitty beard.
Great. I bet that's super hot.
No, it's actually really like close cut. So like not a big beard like you'd expect a Lycan to have, like a nice trim one, like a professional man.
Okay, so he's just a professional.
He's like if a Lycan
guy.
worked at a Fortune 500 company with long hair.
With long hair.
Yeah.
This is a lot going on, but I feel it, I track it, and I think it's super hot. So let's keep going.
Okay.
Lucian is alive and he's hot. That's where we left off.
Yeah, he has a best friend named Raze. Raze strips naked all the time in the movie, but you never see anything. But like he strips naked when he transforms into a big old Lycan.
Cool. So the Lycans are definitely cooler and hotter than the vampires, is what I'm hearing.
You would like to think that.
I
However,
would.
it's true.
Good. Please continue.
Oh, did I mention the one blonde vampire yet?
No.
Oh, well, she exists.
Okay, I can imagine she's been around in a couple of the
she's
scenes.
been around in a couple of the scenes. Yeah, if I set the scene, you could call it a scene, I suppose.
You've set a couple scenes very well with your immaculate storytelling.
Okay, good. Thank goodness.
And please continue.
So this is the part of the story where I confuse it with Blade.
It does give off the story. I mean, gives off both Blade and kind of like Hellboy vibes a little bit.
But it is legally very different.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Incredibly different. It's
Very
not
much.
the same thing. I don't remember where in the story we were, but you better believe that after I woke up sleeping Victor, it turns out Victor's a bad guy.
Whoa, no way.
I know. I'm sure you weren't expecting that at all.
Wait, how do you know?
Well, how do I know? Well, as it turns out, you remember Craven, the guy I don't trust, right?
Yes, I do remember Craven, the guy you don't trust.
Craven told me that I'm sorry. Well, Craven told me that Victor's not cool, and I mean, who am I to believe, you know?
The guy you trust implicitly or the guy you don't trust at all?
I'm just saying, sometimes it's a diamond in the rough situation where, like, your most trustworthy advice comes from your most hated sources.
Okay, I feel it.
So,
That
as
does
it turns
make
out,
sense.
Victor's not cool at all.
Oh, what'd he do?
He ate my family.
No!
I know.
That's terrible.
He's the reason I'm a vampire. A sexy vampire.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound that bad.
Well, yeah, but my family died, so...
That is pretty rough. Why did he spare you, do you know?
Well, let me tell you another bit of backstory. Do you remember Lucian?
I do!
Well, it turns out Lucian was married to Victor's daughter.
Whoa, this is getting intense.
I know, right?
Okay.
But, get this. Lucian... Okay, so I don't think he was a werewolf yet, okay? Or a Lycan. But...
Yeah.
But, you know, he was there.
Right.
And he was our feeding stock, you remember. And
I do remember this.
Victor wasn't down with that. So he was so mad that he killed his own daughter just to make Lucian mad.
That's upsetting.
I know, right?
Poor guy. I'm kind of starting to be on Lucian's side a little bit now, especially since you said he was hot.
Well, fucking plot twist, bitch. Lucian's the good guy.
No way!
I bet you weren't expecting that one.
I really wasn't.
Yeah. Did I mention that Lucian has this weird Nazi-esque doctor who does blood experiments?
No.
Oh, well, he does. Don't think about it, okay?
I'm not.
Okay, good. Okay, anyway. So Lucian's the good guy. Bet you didn't see that one coming.
I didn't.
Exactly. You remember Craven, right?
Yes.
I don't. So he's gone from the story now.
He fell off a ladder, maybe, and died?
He didn't die. He just went away.
Okay.
He ran away. That's all.
He ran away.
He
But
told me this very important information and then just, like, fucked right off, okay?
Okay, that's so valid.
Okay?
All right.
But you're never going to believe this. Victor showed up.
No way.
Did I mention, by the way, that Michael... You remember Michael Corvius?
Michael Corvius. It's Corvin time.
Yeah, it's Corvin time, baby, because it turns out Michael Corvin is a descendant of Jebediah Corvin, the long-lost Corvin third sibling.
Whoa.
Well, he's not actually the third sibling. He's like a descendant.
Right, got it.
But the name has stayed through like thousands of years.
Incredible.
Unchanged.
That's insane.
I know, right?
All men in this
Italians
plotline.
moving to America could never.
any ethnicity moving to America. But
Yeah, but I
Italians
know
do.
about the
And
Italians.
the Polish.
Yeah, but I know about the Italian. My
Right.
Italian family kept their name, so I don't know what.
Yeah,
like,
why are you? What the
riff
fuck
I'm
are you
gonna-
saying?
We're the Remettas.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know, right?
I do like that. That's better than my names.
Yes.
I had what? Babula?
Babula and Worm.
Oh, dear.
You're distracting from my very
I'm so
serious
sorry,
story. The
please.
story's almost done.
Michael Corvin.
Yeah, Michael Corvin said, "It's Corvin time," and
did say
then
that.
he transformed into a werewolf vampire.
Whoa.
Vampkin, a liar,
Liar?
a liar. He's like jet black, hair, eyes, teeth, claws, skin.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
I got
he
it.
gets up and he just goes sicko mode.
Ooh.
And he's just like, I'm Michael Corvius, and I'm gonna eat your ass. And then he eats all their asses.
That's pretty impressive. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Oh,
And what are
Victor
you doing
dies
this whole
too,
time?
by
Have
the
you just
way.
kind of been standing around looking sexy?
Pretty much. I've also been fighting Victor, though.
Oh, okay,
But
that's
don't
valid.
you worry, I kill him.
Oh, how do you kill him?
Well, I do this sick katana slash at him with his sword. By the way, he has this big-ass sword. The rest of us are using guns like God intended.
Oh, right.
But,
What kind of guns are you using? Are they just normal guns? Because you have to have special bullets to kill, like, the silver bullet is a whole thing in, like, werewolf vampire
Well,
stories.
don't you worry, because I found out how to put silver nitrate into my bullets. It's liquid silver, so it goes
Oh,
through their
shit.
entire bloodstream.
That's nuts.
Unfortunately, the werewolves figured out how to harness the sun in a bullet.
Wow, with sun bullets.
Yeah, sun bullets. So they shoot me with a sun bullet and I'm gonna die, but I shoot them with a liquid silver bullet and they die. So you know,
Okay,
it's
equal. So now you guys just both have guns that can kill each other,
Exactly.
as God intended, like you said. But
But
Victor has a sword.
Victor's a sword guy. He likes his big silver sword. But I got Victor's silver sword, so I cut his head in half. But he didn't notice for a minute. He turned around and he moved around a lot and like got ready to keep fighting me. But then he saw that there was blood on my sword, and then his head slid.
Ooh,
like
very-
at an angle, it slid off and he fell over.
Very ghost ship.
Yeah, except a lot less cool. Or more cool, because this is my story and I can make it cooler.
Yeah, it's super cool.
I don't remember what happened to Michael. Michael Corvin, you know?
Yeah,
may
I'm sure that
remember
you guys
Michael Corvin.
smooched or some shit. Cause he's
I don't
hungry.
remember. It's the ending is a little hazy for me. Did I mention Craven just disappears?
You did mention that, yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I made it very clear that nowhere do we know where Craven
That's
went.
that is typical, like, spooky story, like, fare, though. Is
Yeah,
like,
spooky
and then
story set vaguely in 2003, hypothetically.
vaguely in 2003. Yeah, that's very.
Oh,
I'm-
and Marcus woke up. You remember Marcus, right? He's the other
yeah.
vampire.
Yeah, I
oh,
remember
you
the
remember
other one.
Girl Vampire?
I remember Girl Vampire.
Yeah, we
What
killed
happened to
her. She got killed by the Lycan.
Oh, did she?
But the Lycan were doing it because Craven told them to.
Oh, right, because Craven and Lucian were fucking.
No, they're Nina. No, they're very straight, okay?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I
Craven
got that
would only
subtext from
fuck
how
a
you told
woman.
the story.
No, that would never happen.
I'm sorry.
That would never happen. They're both straight.
Right, of course, they're both straight men.
Craven doesn't like ding-dongs. He only likes vajoonies.
I see. That's why he's sweeping around in a dark gothic coat and shit.
Exactly.
And why Lucian's like bare-chested under a fucking floor-length bomber's jacket.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
they are very straight.
very straight. They definitely don't flirt with each other ever.
Never.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Got it. All right. I'm. That makes it even scarier. I'm back on track. I'm terrified.
Do you want to know the scariest thing of all, Nina?
Please tell me.
It's a confession, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Nina, I lied to you.
Oh God.
I didn't make this story up at all.
Oh no.
This was the plot of Underworld, 2003.
Oh no. How will I ever recover from this?
Maybe watch Underworld 2005. Actually, when did
know.
the next Underworld
I actually.
come out?
I don't know if I could take any more Underworld.
Underworld film series, 2006?
2006. You're off by a
Underworld
year.
Evolution. Okay, let's drop the facade. This isn't a scary story. This is our shitting on Underworld
Yeah,
moment
this is
here.
Nina and Noah got bored and watched Underworld last night.
So, you may have remembered me describing Kate Beckinsale, but if Neo from fucking Matrix. They're using the same font? Question mark?
It is very. Look up the Matrix movies real quick so I can like see a comparison here. Oh, that is very similar, isn't it?
So,
Oh, that's so close. Wow, they really said, what if the Matrix wasn't sci-fi, it was fucking classic fantasy.
yeah.
Or
So,
classic,
there are 6
horror.
Underworld movies. Underworld, Underworld Evolution, Underworld Rise of the Lycans,
I can
Underworld
see
Endless
Lucian on
War,
there, yep.
Underworld Awakening, and Underworld Blood Wars. So
Is
here's...
that all of them?
I don't know.
Why do I remember one coming out like more recently than 2016?
Nope, that's it.
Wow, that's still too recent.
It is. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Underworld Evolution happens after Underworld 1, but then Underworld Rise of the Lycans is clearly a throwback movie.
Yeah, because it's got my boy on it.
Endless War is 3 anime shorts. So once again, that's... I don't know if you knew this, but
Yeah, Matrix.
the Matrix did that too.
That has an
The Animatrix.
So does Star Wars. So it's really just a hallmark of a timeless series like Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do just want to be the Matrix, don't they?
They do. I got to look at Underworld Blood Wars here. We're in the woods. I got to look up Underworld Blood Wars here because it looks like Kate Beckinsale has highlights in this movie instead of just jet black hair.
She does.
She does. Oh, that fucking looks like shit.
It does. It looks like shit. It looks
She
like she's
looks
wearing
like
a
the
wig.
generic villain of the movie.
She looks like
instead of
Emma
the
Frost
main.
from the X-Men. That's exactly what she looks
Oh no,
like.
this is bad.
She's so hot though.
Little loved but bizarrely successful franchise. Thank you, Vox.
That
I'm
is
not gonna
exactly
look
what
into
it is, Vox. But
Oh my god.
okay, so who stars in the Resident Evil movies? Because I'm still not really clear on like the difference here. Like, does she not look exactly the fucking same?
There's buckles on that outfit. That
looks
skin tight black
literally
leather
the
outfit.
goddamn same. I don't know who that is. Who is that?
That's oh my god. They look so goddamn terrible.
They look so bad. I love them. I have all like 12 or whatever. Mila Jovovich. That's who it is.
It's Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh,
her.
they kept her consistent.
No, yeah, they had her in all of them. Except
That's
for the most
great.
recent one, which was Departure.
That's still Mila Jovovich in the 2016.
No, there was
Oh,
one
you're
that came
talking
out
about-
like this year.
Did it come out yet?
I thought it did. I thought I heard buzz about it. Yeah, it was 2021. It was Welcome to Raccoon City.
Welcome to Raccoon City. Oh, look at that. It's isn't it a TV show? Oh no.
It was a movie. I heard
It's a direct-to-video on-demand movie.
I heard it was fun. But
Man, I wouldn't have mind watching that if it wasn't rental on Vudu only.
goddamn. Anyway, yeah, so Underworld is a movie that exists.
Underworld is a movie that really does exist.
Michael Sheen was the
Derogatory.
only bright spot in this whole film. I was so bored the whole time.
It was so bad that we had to go and go to the woods.
Yeah, we went to
sit
the
around this
woods to get
campfire.
away from Underworld, and we still can't get away from it because now Noah's trying to pass it off as his own story.
I would never do that. I can't believe it.
The funniest thing to me is how many times you genuinely forgot to say Lycan instead of werewolf.
Shut up.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's just the two of us today here in the woods. Just the really cool husband and wife duo of Noah and Nina. We haven't been alone. Obviously, we've been alone together. We're married. We haven't been alone recording since the Bandersnatch episode, which was a bonus episode way back in 20-something.
Yeah. Shit. I don't know, not to get mushy on
No,
Maine,
not to get mushy on Maine, of
but
course.
did anyone know that that's the first time Nina and I spoke to each other?
Yeah, the first episode ever was the first time Noah and I ever heard each other's voices, and then the Bandersnatch episode is the first time we ever had a like private one-on-one conversation. And we talked for hours after that episode was over, and I'd like to think that that's when we fell in love.
Sure. January 20th, 2019.
Are you telling me that you didn't have just a widow crush on me?
I definitely did.
Yeah. But instead of talking about a good piece of sci-fi media, this time we're talking about the shitty one, but it's over. We don't have to talk about Underworld anymore.
Underworld. Man, these are awful.
I want to watch more of them. I can't overstate how much I want to watch more of these stupid movies. I've watched a lot of the Resident Evil movies, and they aren't very good. So I got them mixed up with this one. And then as we were watching it, and they went down into that creepy ass basement where the old ones are sleeping, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Hellboy. And then I had a realization that all 2000s movies really are the fucking same.
They really, really are.
We've watched a few recently because we started watching the Saw movies for Redacted, and then we watched another Saw movie, and we watched not Resident Evil. We watched Silent Hill Revelations. And really, all of these movies are the exact same. Mm-hmm. The romance, we watched The Matrix too. The romance arcs are all the same. It's like the chosen one guy meets this hot, or in the case of Silent Hill, it's the chosen one girl meets this hot, mysterious person, and they have no chemistry, and they talk twice, and they fall in love for no reason. And I was telling Noah, it makes more sense to me now why everyone thinks that, like, Neo and Trinity are, like, this epic love story, even though they, like, barely have any chemistry and barely hang out one-on-one. And it's because all the other romances in these other movies are even less compelling. Like, Michael and Celine talk for, like, 15 minutes, and half of that is spent with Michael understandably yelling at her to explain what's going on, and her just refusing to explain what's going on. And then she's like, I'm in love with him, and that's it. It's insane to me.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. It's really bad. I don't know. We sat down to watch this movie, and I'm like, I don't remember how much of this movie I remember and how much I think is Blade. And as it turns out, I don't remember anything from Blade.
That's our next
unless
movie.
The scene of a bunch of dudes in SWAT uniforms going into a sewer and machine gunning a bunch of people is from Blade and not an Underworld sequel. I really don't know. I'm very confused.
Okay, so the first Blade movie was 98, and then the next two were 2002 and 2004. So I'm wondering which Blade movie you remember that being from as well. Have you seen all the? I've never seen all
three Blade movies. Blade 3 has Ryan Reynolds in it.
I did know that.
And he talks about having sex with a vampire.
Good for him.
Yep. That's all I really remember.
Oh my god, that's so valid. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the Blade movies. I've seen very few of that era of superhero movie. I have pretty universally heard that they're all bad, and so I just never touched them. Not true. I've seen Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. Because we did it in a movie night in the Off the Air server that one time.
Yeah. I do. Man, there was a whole arc of that movie that I forgot. I forgot about Mephistopheles' bastard children that he hates and wants dead.
Mephistopheles is such a great demon name.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. There are a lot of really bad ones out there, but Mephistopheles is like top tier.
It's pretty good.
I don't even know what his deal or his job is, but I would be willing to look into it maybe.
He meffs your Stopheles.
No, I would rather not, actually.
He meffs it. The Stopheles.
No, that sounds like a fucking STD.
You can't see, but I'm doing the eyebrow thing right now.
Yeah.
So, how about that 4th of July?
Oh my god. I can't stand 4th of July.
As we already said, we're in the woods, and it's 4th of July.
It's 4th
right
of
now.
July.
We're having a grand old time 4th of Julying it up. Maybe you can hear fireworks. I'm not actually sure. There's a chance.
I'm so sick of the fireworks. The fireworks started going off on like Friday or Saturday when we got back from something else. We came back and there were fireworks going off. And it's like, I get that it's Saturday night before a holiday weekend, but it is literally 2 days before the actual holiday, and I'm going to need you to chill out.
I worked 4th of July this year, and I was put on phone duty, among other things. And all day long, I answered the phone with, hey, thank you for calling the place that I work at. We close at 5 p.m. today. How can I help you? And it was split 30-30-30. 30% of people were happy that I gave them that information. 30% of people were angry I gave them that information. And 30% of people said, what time do you close? And it's like, my guys, I literally said we close at 5 today in my opening spiel. And then they say that, and I say, we close at 5 today. And they say, when? And I would say 5 again. And, when I'm on the phone, I really do try to say things as clearly as possible because, I don't want to be on the phone But oh my god, people just don't pay attention.
They don't. It drives me insane. We've had some really weird calls at the place where I work.
Really?
Yeah, nothing too insane, but we've gotten calls that are like, so for some backstory, the cafe that I work at during the riots of June 2020 had a brick thrown through the window, and there was a small fire that was started at our bar window. The table still has some scorch marks on it, but other than that, everything's been replaced and repaired. But that did happen. We got a call not long ago that was just the guy called and my coworker picked up and he was like, "Oh, you guys are still open?" My coworker's like, "Yeah, we're open till 4." And the guy's like, "I thought you burned down." And my coworker's like, "No. Are you talking about what happened in 2020?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, I thought you burned down. I'm surprised you're still open." She's like, "No, we didn't." He's like, "All right. Glad you didn't burn down." She's like,
Good lord, you didn't burn down. Stop like beating around the bush, dude.
It sounds like I am running out of things to say and I'm repeating myself, but this is exactly how it went. And then she's like, "Do you need anything else from me? Do you want to know anything? Any drink questions?" He's like, "Nope. Just glad to hear you didn't burn down." And then he hung up.
Imagine calling 2 years late to make sure you didn't burn down.
Like, and it wasn't because he wanted to come in and he wasn't sure if we were open. It was literally just he was being a jerk. We do still have the brick from that incident
Nice.
as well. Yeah. So.
I would keep the brick. That would be a fun little collectible.
Absolutely. A fun little collectible is exactly what it is. We are pack rats. My coworkers and I, we keep everything even slightly amusing to us. And we tuck it away. I have this really weird like trading card with like the head of Jesus or something. That's like it's like a saint trading card that my manager's husband, fiance at the time, very quiet man, just came and slid this card across the countertop to me, and he said, "Found this." And I'm like, "Are you giving it to me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." And then he just left, and it's been tucked behind the counter ever since.
That's gorgeous. I love that.
It was so good. My manager was shocked because he's not really talkative, but I think he just thought it would be funny, and he was absolutely correct.
Nice.
Yeah, weird phone calls. Nothing super.
I got a phone call where a guy's like, because I work for the state, technically, because we're the ones that run liquor stores, and this guy calls me, is like, "You should be able to help me put an answer this once and for all." And I'm like, "Well, no promises, but I'll do what I can." And then he asks me whether it's legal for a bar to sell him a whole bottle of liquor at cost so that he can drink it in the bar. And I was very careful to not say anything was legal or not, because you better believe I'm not going to let myself get trapped into being this weird dude's, "Well, a state employee said blah blah." No, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm not stupid. But he's just trying to get me. He was trying to like get me on it and be like, "Hey, I'm allowed to do this, right?" And I'm like, I gotta be honest, I have no idea. That really sounds like something that like is the business owner's discretion. I don't think that they have to sell you. Well, he's like, "But they have to do it, right?" And I'm like, I don't think they have to legally do anything like that for you. I don't even know if they're allowed to sell you a full bottle. I don't think that's allowed. And they definitely don't have to do it at cost.
Yeah.
I don't, that was a wild question.
That's unsettling.
Because, like, it really did feel like this man called the liquor store in the middle of his argument with a bar owner. And as I hung up, all I could think is, I really hope this man gets his ass beat and is tossed out of this bar. Because what a rude thing to do.
Genuinely.
I can't imagine doing that to someone.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people just do things and I really have to wonder what's going on in their heads, because like I'm a pretty shy person. I'm pretty introverted. There's a lot of things that I just could not imagine doing, but it comes down to even like stupid little stuff. Like I can't imagine being in this is going to sound really petty and pointed, and it is. I can't imagine being in a cafe, having the staff tell you 5 minutes ago, "Hey, we're closing now," and then 5 minutes later they lock the door, they turn off the lights, they stop the music. I cannot imagine continuing to sit there and have a conversation for 30 more minutes in silence in a dead empty cafe while the staff just has to wait for you to leave. I literally can't imagine doing that. That seems like insanity to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, even on the days that I've been there and not sitting around a campfire in the woods, and I've been there to get you, I feel awkward being there after close, and I'm supposed to be there, because I'm your ride home.
Right.
And, like, I don't feel like I should be there.
Yeah.
Much less
And
if I was
you're allowed to be.
Exactly. Much less if I was a customer just there. Good Lord.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan. I'm not, like, I really like where I work. I really like 90% of the customers. But sometimes, you know, speaking of customers, I've noticed a weird phenomenon.
Okay.
Okay. I will have people come into my shop and they will ask me, do you know anything good to do in Erie? And 50% of the time, I am not exaggerating, when I will say, no, I'm moved here recently, I don't really have any idea, and they'll say, where from? And I'll say, Seattle. 50% of the time, they are also from Seattle.
That's weird.
It's been really weird. I've had some people just visiting who, like, moved to Pittsburgh from Seattle. I've had a good deal of people who moved to Erie from Seattle, all for the same reason. It's because it's cheaper to live here. And I was telling my coworker, like, what drew us here? Because, like, what's the through line from Seattle to Erie? The only thing I can think of is the water. I can only think that we're all, like, just absolutely repulsed by the idea of not living near water. So we just kind of gravitated towards a lake and called it good. To be fair, it is a pretty decent lake.
It is a nice lake.
You said that way more whimsically than I did.
It's a nice lake. I don't know what you want from me.
Love and affection. Wow, these woods really get awkward where there's nothing to say, huh? The silence is deafening.
I know, the silence in these woods is just deafening. I don't know what to say. I gotta be honest, I don't know what to say today. It's the 4th of July.
It's the 4th of July. The
and
4th of July sucks.
All I want to do is eat 4th of July foods like macaroni salad.
Yeah, unfortunately,
we're in the woods
we're
and
in the
I can't
woods
make
and we can't
macaroni
make
salad.
mac salad. I love macaroni salad. We had people over for Memorial Day and we made macaroni salad, but Noah put raw onions in it and repulsed several of our guests.
I'm gonna do it again. I love. I as far as I knew, it only repulsed like 2 people.
That's several. That's more than one.
That's more than one. One of them doesn't count.
Because it was your sister?
Yeah.
You're so mean. I love macaroni salad. I like macaroni and tuna salad, but Noah says he was burnt out on tuna.
I hate canned tuna in, like, I don't like macaroni tuna salads because I like a macaroni salad as is. And when you combine tuna with it, I feel betrayed. And I hate tuna burgers and tuna casserole a lot because I like tuna. Like, if we just had a slab of tuna, I'd be thrilled.
That's different. I mean canned tuna. Do you like canned tuna?
Canned tuna's fine. I'll do a canned tuna sandwich from time to time. I've been known to can a tuna sandwich. But man, I got so burned out on canned tuna as a kid.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
It's kind of like how my brother can't eat eggs anymore. He's like
straight up just can't.
High key burnt out. I mean, he will, kinda, but he does not like to.
Just an egg. I'm just going.
He'll eat it and he'll be like, "Why are you making me eat an egg?"
Yeah, because it's funny. So I think he'd eat it if I told him it would be funny.
No, he would not eat it just because you said that. He'd be like,
that's true. He'd be
oh,
like, well,
me
now
eating an egg is a joke to you?
Well, look at yeah.
Wow, that's fucking rude.
And then he just wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, basically.
That's fair. That's valid. I can understand that. All I want to talk about is I told Noah this morning I'm trying to be more positive. Unfortunately, what this is leading to is a drought of topics to talk about because I am a bitch who loves to bitch all the time. So I'm like in a freaking 2000s movie. I'm the goth side character that put on pink for one day and is now suffocating.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what you're doing right now.
But I want to be positive.
Honestly, you know what? This is a holiday. We can have a shorter episode. We still got our solid 40-ish minutes. Don't quote me on that. Anyone who's looking at the time right now,
Quote him on it.
because I know
Call
for a
him out.
fact
Comment-
I'm gonna cut out like 5
Comment on
minutes
this
of content.
episode. Comment on this episode and tell him to the minute how wrong he is.
Just say it in the server. Don't comment on the episode. I'll never see it. But say it in the server.
Comment on the episode to drive engagement. I have a marketing degree, so you gotta listen to me.
Comment on the tweet that I tweet.
Yeah, comment on the tweet that Noah tweets.
That I quote.
That you quote.
The tweet that I tweet.
The tweet that Noah quote.
I got nothing else to say.
I want Mac salad real bad.
So we're gonna go do that. We're gonna drive back to civilization and get some mac salad.
Yeah.
Instead of hanging out in the dark around a campfire in the woods while there's fireworks booming around us.
Yes.
And the rockets' red glare and all that.
Ew.
To quote Jackson on his famed solo episode, "Heavy is the head that wears the Naruto headband." Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thanks for joining us.
It's too late for me to say happy 4th by like 3 days, but fuck
Fourth.
you. Follow Nina at Nina Wolverina on Twitter and such.
Shush.
Shut the fuck up. Well, I was trying to be nice.
I love you guys.
And I take it all back.